Hey guys, JC here with Wedge Koncepts, and in this video I'm just going to give you a few tips to help you improve your credit score. So let's get to it. Okay, so one of the first things you want to do is you want to get a copy of your credit report. Go online, go to annualcreditreport.com and get a free copy of your report. Once you get a copy of your report, you want to go ahead and look for any errors, any discrepancies, any inaccuracies, because fixing those will give you an immediate boost to your score. So definitely go through everything, okay? Look for anything that's wrong, any inaccuracies. Okay, so the next thing is that, we have to be honest with ourselves. Improvement is going to take time, but we have to be vigilant with the due dates of when these credit card bills are due. So do yourself a favor, mark them on your calendars, set up calendar reminders, go ahead and set up auto bill pay, okay? Because paying by your due date will significantly boost your credit score in about 6 months, okay? So I'm talking about committing yourself to a minimum of 6 months where you can develop good habits of paying your bills on time. So set up auto bill pay so that way when your credit cards are due, the minimum at least will be paid and it will start to show, okay? Now, of course, we got to focus on the utilization. And again, the utilization is just how much you owe versus your credit limit, okay? It's called your utilization ratio. It's going to be your second largest factor. It's about 30% of your score. Your payment history is the largest at 35%. So think about it. 65% of your score is going to be your history and your utilization. You cannot neglect these. Pay attention. This is very important, okay? So lenders do not like to see big balances. They don't want to see your cards maxed out, okay? Even if you are paying them off at the end of the month, they don't like to see this, okay? So some people say you want to keep your utilization down to 30%. That's about average. Look, do yourself a favor. Get it below 9% and you won't have any problems, okay? So just try to drop it, get it as low as possible. So that way you can go ahead and move forward. So then the next thing you want to do is you want to come up with a game plan on what you're going to pay off or what you're going to pay down first. You're going to have your credit card, you're going to have your student loans, your car notes. Look, if you have any extra cash, go for the credit cards. All right, go for the credit cards. Now, depending on how much you owe and your credit score, paying the balance down to zero can easily boost your credit score by 50 points or more, maybe even 100 points, depending on your score. But if you were to pay down, let's say your car note or pay down some of your student loan, you may get 5-7 points, okay? So again, we're going to attack the credit cards with any extra money. Now, again, we talked about earlier the length of your credit history, which is the third biggest portion, right? So 15% of your score, there's really nothing you really can do about that, okay? Because it just shows how long you've been able to manage credit responsibly. But again, at least they can look at your credit history and they say, hey, over the last 6 months, you've been very responsible with your credit, right? Now, if you do charge something, just go ahead and pay it off promptly. Don't even wait for the due date. Pay it off before it even closes. As soon as it posts, just go ahead and pay it off, okay? If you don't have a credit card, you may want to consider getting a credit card only because that's going to boost you. Okay, it's going to boost your score. But you may want to start with a secure credit card, which means it's going to be backed by your own money. So whatever money you put into it, $500, that's going to be your credit limit. All right. Now, when it comes to new credit, just avoid getting applying for, multiple accounts. Get a secure card and stick with that if need be. But of course, it depends on your score, okay? Because we don't want you to get denied. You definitely don't want to come across as being risky, okay? So you may just need to avoid credit cards altogether, especially store cards. And I know that the score does look at a mix of your credit, because FICO looks at these types of things. You know, they want to see that you got an auto loan, student loans, credit cards. Again, just do yourself a favor. There's not much you really can do with that, but please do not go out applying for credit or loans or personal loans just to improve your score. That is not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to pay the debt down that we have to boost your credit score, establishing history, right? Okay, so just a quick recap. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and get a copy of your credit report, okay? You want to look for any discrepancies, any inaccuracies. You got to keep in mind, improvements are going to take time. You want to go ahead and lower your utilization on all your debts, including your credit cards. You want to decide which ones you're going to pay down first and how much you're going to pay down. By doing that, it's going to increase your length of history, because on-time payments matters. You don't want to get any new credit cards unless you don't have any. Then a secure credit card will be the way to go. The mix of credit cards or mix of credit, nothing you can do about. Don't worry about it, okay? So I hope you found this information very useful. Definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Drop me a comment. Let me know if anything I went over, was helpful. And definitely check out my other videos, and let's build together. All right, peace.